All right, folks, ladies and gents. I know I made a first video about the gas rerouting and all that, and I wasn't really being descriptive of the whole process of this home flex. So I really love this product. Reason why is kind of obvious. It's very flexible. Okay. So let me show you how we do it here. So we have our pipe where we're going to be connecting to right here. Okay. What I usually do is your fitting is going to go about another inch or so from the edge. Okay. Which is these right here. And when you open these packages, yep, did you hear that? That's exactly what I was going to say. Make sure you don't lose this, because this is a major part of this whole process. Okay. Your instructions. Okay. And this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using a female CSST. And make sure you don't damage that seal right there. It's made out of cardboard. It's very, very sensitive, fragile. So we'll put this onto the side, and these are the fittings that we'll be using. Okay, your connectors, your washer. Okay, so we're gonna have 1 inch from this edge going up. You know, I like to go 1 inch down. Okay, and in order to cut this home flex pipe is very simple. You know, we use excuse me, pipe cutters like this. You know, so once you have it marked, and usually I use my finger, you know, and just tighten it, and just, you know, just like you're cutting copper. You know, did you hear that? Did you hear that? And each turn you give it, I give it one more, a tight squeeze there, and that's it. Okay. The edges, excuse me, the edges inside. Oh, that's why I got insulation here. The edges inside, I don't know if you can see it, are very, very jagged. Okay. So what I usually do is, in order to make them nice and flat, I tap it. Man, excuse me, I tap it on the side to make it flat. But before you do that, you have on the rings on the pipe, you know, these rings. From the edge, you want to go at least 2. Okay. So what I do is I come here, I cut 2. Okay. And then you just take that piece off. So I went 3 on that one, but it's all right. No worries. And then once you do that, these edges, I like to tap them. I like to make them flat. Okay. Because what happens is, these edges, it's gonna eat up this cardboard. The purpose is compressing it, and this is why I like turning this end of the connector versus doing this one, right? Because this one is gonna eat up all those edges, and there goes your seal. You won't have a tight seal. So I hit my edges, get them nice and flat. You know, that looks about right. Feels about right. Okay. And once you get that done, this ring and the connector. The connector that always has a yellow tape, okay? Make sure you remove the tape, okay? And it goes in first. The first time I ever did this, I put this in and I tightened it, and guess what? I had to loosen it up again and install it the proper way. So once you insert that into the connector, you get your open washer here and you go in on your first ring, okay, like so. See that? So what we're going to do now is we're going to crimp it and make sure these two open ends are almost touching each other. So the purpose of this is to get it as tight as possible. So what you do is you grab it, first ring, and you crimp it. Okay, and once you crimp it, you just want to go all the way around. Okay. As you can see, they're coming together now. So you just want to go all the way around till they're almost touching. They're not going to completely touch, and you don't want to over squeeze it either. Okay, you just want to get it to a point where it's kind of locked, a little bit locked in place. A little bit of play is okay. You just don't want it have it spinning. So what I usually do is just crimp it all the way around, and then I get this end and I crimp it too. Then I come to the middle and crimp both of them at the same time. Oh, gotta loosen it up a little bit. There you go. There you go. And there's that. Okay. So, let me get this piece out. Since we're connecting to the existing pipe, and I believe on the last video I showed you how to connect these. I mentioned that you never put a thread sealer or Teflon tape on this ends to connect the connectors. You don't do that, but you do it when you do it to these two. Okay, so you got two choices: pipe thread sealant or yellow tape for gas lines. Okay, either one is good. My preference is this, and like I showed you last time, there's no sense of really like getting tons of it in there, because what happens is once it gets into the thread starts pushing it out and you start creating that seal. So I like to get a nice even application on it. You know, make sure you clean the inside. Make sure there's nothing in there. Okay. And then what you do is you come in and you tighten it into your existing pipe. In this case, this is half inch fitting, half inch connectors to connect. There's also 3/4, and I believe it goes up to 1 inch. So for this particular application, we're going half inch. So now, get your plumber's pipe. Make sure you have the proper size. And start tightening it. Okay, so that seems like it's pretty good. So remember this, tying this first and then tying this to this connector. Because if you try tying, yeah, that's the way to do it. Because I've done it before where in certain applications where I had this and I tried tying this in first and then tried to tie another one into this connector. I ended up ripping the whole seal of this connector and I had a gas leak. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect our pipes. And make sure you don't damage that seal that we talked about. Give it a nice hand tight. So once you do that, give it another tight adjustment with your plumber's pipe. There you go. Oh yeah, you can really feel it crimping the other connector. Get a good seal. There you go. Chicka boom. That's it. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna insert this a little bit more. And then let me go to the other end. And then all I'm gonna do is just put some clamps here, some clamps there, and that should be it. So this is how you connect your home flex pipe. Tools, pipe cutter, pipe wrench, some pliers, crescent wrench, something to cut it. You want to use a utility knife or a knife to cut around the ring, and you need some muscles to tie this baby up. And that should be it. All right, folks. I hope this video helped. Any questions? You know the process. Have a good one.